Questions? Any comments? Anything you'd like to share? No? Last chance. Ladies, do you have a question? If you don't, then if you want to talk, same goes for you, go outside. I won't be offended or anything. Oh boy. Yesterday, I went to a wedding. It was a lovely double wedding. One of the brides was from Vietnam, and they brought their parents over for the wedding. Parents didn't speak a word of English. Their daughters, they brought the whole family. It was very lovely. And the daughter was in between the father and mother of the bride, whispering, the translation. And they had a wonderful fire sacrifice. I was able to give one of the grooms, the groom that invited me, a gift. And I thought the night before, on Friday night, when I was trying to sleep, I'm thinking, gosh, I can't go to a store. Should I bring flowers? I don't have anything that I can give. What can I possibly give to them that is of any value, as a wedding gift? I don't want to just give them some dish or some, silly thing. It's like 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I got up, couldn't sleep, got up and went to the kitchen. And there was a bag that I haven't looked at in many, many months, that my daughter gave me in Hawaii. She sent it with someone coming from Hawaii. And I looked at it, and I thought, I haven't used that since they brought it. And I thought, that's the perfect gift. I'll split the bag so that I can share it with some of my friends here, but I'll give half of what's in the bag to them. So I tore it open, and I put it in a little plastic twist-top cup. And when we got up in the morning, I told my daughter, Shanti, I want you to write, because you have very neat handwriting, I want you to write on this, Maha Salt. Maha Salt. It was salt that had been offered to Srila Prabhupada. And I thought, wow, this is really the best gift of all. I mean, not just because it's Maha Salt, but because you move. Don't worry about his foot. You in the green shirt. Don't worry about his foot. You move over, okay? Haribo. Now, because salt is a preservative. And I gave it to him with a note, in a nice bag, with a note saying, this will help preserve your marriage. And I don't think he expected a gift, but in any case, I wanted to share that story because if you get any Maha salt, if you get like a lot of it, you might save it for a wedding. Some of it, anyway. Anyway, the other half I put into another twist top, and it's in our kitchen. I think I'll bring it, next week, and we can share some maha salt on our prasadam. Anyway, so I wanted to share that story with you, and now that's done. Oh, my glasses clean? What do I do with my glasses? Yeah, that'll work. When we did the wedding, I was invited to be one of the three people who were reading scripture. Everyone else was chanting japa. And I brought this along because I knew we would be reading from scripture. This is from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is a summary study of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. The superior energy of Krishna is spiritual in constitution, and the inferior energy is material. The superior energy has certain aspects, certain qualities to it. Does anyone know what one of those qualities is? The superior energy has what? Consciousness. Consciousness. From the tree to the flower to the ant to the little girls talking over there, they all have consciousness. Now, when your superior energy, of which you are made, leaves the body is no longer conscious. You, the spirit soul within the body, you are in between the material and the spiritual. And therefore, you are called marginal. In other words, you belong to the marginal potency of Krishna. So there is the superior energy, the inferior energy, and the energy that's right along the line called marginal energy. You are simultaneously one with Krishna, and yet you are different from him. Because you are spirit, and therefore you are not different from Krishna. Aham brahmasmi. But because you are only a minute particle of Krishna, you are therefore different from him. You are God, but you are like a little teeny weeny itsy bitsy small little part of God. You didn't create the universe. You didn't create the sun and the moon and the stars. God did that. And yes, you are an integral part of him, but you are not him. Because you are only a minute particle of Krishna, you are therefore different from him. And this difference is what is terribly, terribly important to understand. Because in the lowest aspect of God realization, you realize that God is everywhere, God is everything, God is, and just as much God is you. You are him, he is you. But it is the difference that makes the difference. There are so many so-called gurus, and even people in different religions, and even people that are teaching, control of the mind and so forth, that basically are saying in one way or another that you are God and all you have to do is realize it. And this leads to the lowest levels of hell. This simultaneous oneness and difference always exists in the relationship between the living entities and the Supreme Lord. From the marginal position of the living entities, this simultaneous oneness and difference concept is understood. The living entity, you, is just like the molecular part of the sunshine, whereas Krishna is compared to the blazing sun. We have used this comparison before. You are like the sunshine. Krishna is like the sun globe. They are the same. Heat, light, all the, same qualities. The sunshine, you can say, oh, the sun is right there. But that's not the sun. That's the sunshine. The sun is still up there. That's the sun globe. So there is simultaneous oneness and yet difference. And the activity of the sunshine is not the same as the activity of the sun globe. Lord Chaitanya compared the living entities to the blazing sparks of a fire, and the Supreme Lord to the blazing fire of the sun. The Lord cites in this connection a verse from Vishnu Purana, in which it is stated that everything that is manifested within this cosmic world is simply a part of the energy of the Supreme Lord. For example, as the fire emanating from one place exhibits its illumination and heat all around, and so the Lord, although situated in one place in the spiritual world, manifests His different energies everywhere. And the whole world of cosmic representation is but the different manifestations of His energy. So I know this sounds maybe kind of dry, especially after the wonderful story we read last week about Manavendra Puri and Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. But it's very important to understand this, even intellectually, that you are not the body and you are not God. You are a part of God. You are eternal. You do not die when the body dies. You are an eternal servant of God. And so, the purpose of your life is to live your life, dedicate your life to the Lord's service, the service of the Lord. And how are you going to know when you are serving the Lord? How are you going to know what the best and highest service is for you? That is what you learn from the spiritual master. He will tell you, he will engage you and let you know, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. This is your best, the best service. This is the highest service. This is just for you. Each one of our paths is individual.